is the future of African tech being built in Nairobi, or Lagos has already claimed the throne?
Oh, really? Really?
Two cities separated by thousands of kilometers yet connected by a single ambition: to lead Africa into the digital age. Nairobi, the heart of Kenya's Silicon Savannah, a city where mobile money first changed how the world viewed financial inclusion. Lagos, the unstoppable engine of Nigeria, a city where fintech, e-commerce and entertainment collide to create billion-dollar unicorns. Billions of dollars in venture capital are being poured into these hubs. Millions of ambitious young Africans are coding, building and dreaming, determined to create the next global breakthrough in an African soil. The world is watching. Investors are betting. Startups are rising, falling and rising again. But one question truly matters: which city will become Africa's Silicon Valley? Will it be Nairobi, where innovation meets infrastructure, or Lagos, where scale meets raw and stoppable energy? This forms the introduction part of this story. Across the continent, Africa is in the midst of a true tech revolution. Startups are writing how we pay, how we travel, how we communicate, and even how we farm and feed our cities. From mobile money in rural villages to AI-driven logistics in bustling urban streets, the digital transformation is no longer a promise. It's happening right now. And while cities like Cape Town, Kigali, and Cairo have made their mark on the headlines, two stand out as the fiercest rivals. Shaping this revolution, Nairobi in Kenya and Lagos in Nigeria both are vibrant hubs of innovation, but they couldn't be more different. Nairobi thrives on strategic infrastructure, a supportive policy environment, and an history of mobile money leadership. Lagos thrives on sheer scale, unstoppable energy, and a population that refuses to wait for change. It creates it. Together, they are rewriting the future of African tech. But the question still lingers: which city will rise as the capital of innovation in the continent? Will it be Nairobi, where calculated growth meets opportunity? Or Lagos, where chaos breeds creativity? And now, let's talk about Nairobi. For years, Nairobi has proudly won the crown of Africa's Silicon Savannah. But why? It all started with a revolution that changed not just Kenya, but the whole world. M-Pesa, the mobile money platform, turned phones into banks, enabling over 96% of Kenya's households to send, receive, and store money digitally. Today, over $60 billion flows through M-Pesa annually. That's almost a half of Kenya's entire GDP. But Nairobi's tech story doesn't end there. The cities are home to a vibrant ecosystem of over 200 tech startups, from fintech disruptors to agri-tech pioneers. Incubators like HiUp and Nairobi Garage have nurtured ideas that now serve across East Africa. Global giants like Google, Microsoft, Visa, Amazon have set up regional headquarters here, betting on Nairobi as a gateway to Africa's next billion user. Infrastructure has played a part too. With undersea internet cables along East Africa, Kenya relatively enjoys a strong connectivity compared to many of its neighbors, and a nationwide internet penetration that stands at about 42%. But Nairobi is far from flawless. The high cost of living makes it expensive for founders and talent to thrive. Inconsistent government policies can frustrate growth, and with a metropolitan population of just 5 million, its domestic market is limited, forcing startups to think often of expanding to Uganda, Tanzania, and Rwanda just to scale. Nairobi is ambitious, innovative, and globally recognized, but it's also a city constantly balancing its potential against its constraints. Yes, Lagos, Africa's restless megacity with more than 21 million people and a relentless heartbeat of Nigeria's economy. This is a city where scale meets ambition. Lagos is our home to the highest concentration of fintech unicorns. Talk about Flutterwave, Paystack, Open, and others that are redefining how Africa pays and moves its money. Nigeria as a whole has become Africa's top destination for venture capital, attracting over $1.2 billion in 2022 alone, with Lagos taking a lion's share. To put that into perspective, that's nearly 3 times of what Kenya's startups raised in the same year. Lagos thrives on one undeniable advantage: scale. With a population of over 200 million Nigerians, startups can launch, test, and grow within a domestic market so massive that international expansion often becomes a bonus, not a necessity. But Lagos comes with a set of its challenges. Power outages are a daily battle. Internet speeds lag behind Nairobi, and a bureaucratic red tape can choke a promising ventures before they even take off. And then there's the infamous traffic. A grid so intense it can steal hours from an entrepreneur's day in a city where every minute can make or break a deal. Lagos is chaotic, electrifying, frustrating, and unstoppable. It's a city where problems are seen as opportunities, and where sheer population density fuels both pressure and possibility. So, who between Nairobi and Lagos has the edge? Well, to answer that question, let's consider these facets. First, innovation legacy. Nairobi wrote history with mobile money becoming the birthplace of M-Pesa, a model studied worldwide. Lagos, on the other hand, has taken that playbook and scaled it into a fintech powerhouse, home to unicorns like Flutterwave, Paystack, and Open. Secondly, let's talk about the market size. Lagos is a powerhouse with over 200 million Nigerians, giving startups a colossal domestic sample. Nairobi, smaller, yes, but rich and influential, with startups often expanding seamlessly across Uganda, Tanzania, and Rwanda. Let's also talk about infrastructure as the third consideration. Nairobi edges ahead with a more reliable internet, a growing network of undersea cables, and a relatively cleaner urban planning. Lagos thrives on raw energy, but battles chronic power cuts and a level of urban chaos that can slow even the fastest growing ventures. Fourth, let's consider the talent pool. Both cities produce world-class developers and entrepreneurs, but Lagos enjoys a demographic dividend. Over 60% of Nigerians are under 25, fueling a restless, youthful labor hungry for opportunity. And here is a sobering truth. Both cities are bleeding talent. The biggest minds often live for Silicon Valley, London, or remote global roles, turning brain drain into one of Africa's silent tech challenges. So, who wins? Well, that depends on what you value more: scale or strategy, raw numbers or regional networks, chaos or calculated growth. What do you value more? Let me know in the comment section. What does the future hold? So, where does this race go from here? Kenya is placing its chips on policy reforms and digital infrastructure. From ambitious digital superhighway project to a wave of incentives aimed at attracting even more big tech investments. Nairobi wants to become not just a startup city, but a national headquarters for Africa's digital future. Nigeria, meanwhile, is doubling down on fintech dominance and a sheer force of its youth-driven innovations. With over 120 million people under 25, Lagos is betting that its massive, relentless population will produce the next wave of unicorns and potentially Africa's truly global tech giants. And the world is watching closely. Google's $50 million Africa Investment Fund and Microsoft's Africa Development Center are spreading their chips across both cities and willing to pick a single winner just yet. The real question isn't about geography, it's about philosophy. Will the future belong to quality over quantity, Nairobi's calculated infrastructure, or it will be driven by scale over structure, Lagos's raw and filtered energy? Perhaps the truth is neither city needs to win alone, because Africa's digital rise may not have a single capital, but a network of them. So, Nairobi versus Lagos, who will truly become Africa's Silicon Valley? The truth is, maybe this isn't a zero-sum game. What if Africa's tech future doesn't need one crown, one capital, or one winner? What if the real power relies on a network of connected hubs? From Nairobi to Lagos, Kigali to Cape Town, each driving innovation on its own way. Now, I want to hear from you. If you had to launch your dream startup tomorrow, where would you set it up? Will it be in the structured ecosystem of Nairobi, the explosive energy of Lagos, or somewhere else entirely? Drop your thoughts in the comment section, because this debate isn't just about cities, it's about the future of African innovation. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Fintech. See you next time.